Call to order the July 9th, 2024 Old Bridge Township Council meeting. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence and for our prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As customary in this chamber, we stand for a moment to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and for all those suffering all around the world. A moment of silence, please. Our prayer, Mr. Pescetti.
O Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve thee in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right, and grant that we have a good conscience and that soul at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Present.
Councilwoman DeCaro? Here. Councilman DePalma is absent. Councilman Desai is absent. Councilman Garcia?
Here.
Councilman Murphy? Absent. Councilman Pasquitti?
Here.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Present.
Council President Sohar?
Here. And Councilman Murphy did call and tell me he would not be attending this evening.
Okay, this meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the township on January 6th, 2024, has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting. We'll be beginning with the DWP Award presentation to Keith Mentone.
Thank you. Tonight, we're very proud of one of our public work employees, Keith Mentone. On June 11th, 2024, Keith Mentone participated in the American Public Works Association's annual equipment rodeo. The event gives heavy equipment operators from across the state the opportunity to test their skills in several timed events. For the second year in a row, Keith has taken first place in the backhoe skills competition. Judges score precision, speed, and most importantly, safety of each competitor. We would like to congratulate Keith and look forward to a three-peat. Congratulations. We'd like to present you. Would you like your family to come up for a photo?
Mayor, do we get a demonstration?
Outside, okay.
I just want to say we have the best public works department in the state.
Very nice. Congratulations. Okay, next will be a presentation. This is a tax bill presentation. Good evening, Dawn. Mayor. And Anna.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us this evening. We've asked Dawn Swoboda, our CFO and Director of Finance and Tax Collector, to prepare this tax bills as it gets ready to go out next week to all of our residents. We just wanted to be transparent, as we always are, to provide them all the correct information on where the taxes are going, and obviously we're the collectors of them. So we just wanted to provide this information to our residents and to the council as well.
Yeah. I know Dawn did a fantastic job. She's been working very hard for this presentation, as well as Anna, because, you know, like Anna said, her tax bills are coming out in August, and we want you to be aware of what to expect, because we think there's going to be, not on our end, on the board end, a substantial tax increase, and you're probably going to get a lot of letters and phone calls, so this way you'll know what to say. You'll be well informed.
All right. Thank you. So everybody's least favorite time of year, tax bills going out. They're scheduled to be mailed out by next Monday, July 15th. So they should be. They're on time this year. We did get our rates really early this year, so that was a good thing. One thing when you do receive the tax bill in the mail, there's several inserts. There's a recycling insert, there's an administration letter. There's also a tax letter form that I think has a lot of valuable information. Most of the questions that we get in the office could easily be answered by, you know, taking a look. So I just want to touch on some of that before I get into the tax increase. General information. Property tax bills are mailed out once a year in July, and they contain 4 quarterly payment stubs. So we don't mail out every quarter. It costs about $12,000 to do the mailing. So if we had to mail out every quarter, tack on another $36,000 just for postage, not even printing. So you'll want to hold on to it for future. If you're paying by, you know, yourself, you want to hold on to that so you have it for the future quarters. The August and November quarters are final bills for that year, and the 2025, or, you know, the next year, February and May are preliminary billing based on what the current year tax rate is. Taxes are due February 1st, May 1st, August 1st, and November 1st with a 10-day grace period. 10 days is the maximum allowed by the state. If the 10th falls on a weekend or a holiday, it gets moved to the next business day. So for instance, this August, the 10th is a Saturday. Monday, the 12th, will be the last day to pay without penalty or interest. The collector's office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Additionally, we're open one Saturday out of the tax quarter from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on the last day of the collection period from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we post each quarter on the website, OBTV, social media, what those dates are, because sometimes you get 2 Saturdays in a tax quarter or something. We always post it on there. Payments must be received in the tax office on or before the last day of the grace period to avoid interest charges. The state does not allow us to accept postmark. They accept postmark, they don't allow us to accept it. Unfortunately, if it's not received in our office by that day, we have to charge interest. If your taxes are paid through your mortgage company, you'll get an advice copy of your bill. We get hundreds of calls every year when the tax bills go out. Why am I getting a bill? My mortgage company pays it. It's for your information only. If it doesn't say advice copy and your bank's been paying it, they're going to keep paying it. Just, it's for your information only. Tax payment options. You could pay online at oldbridge.com by ACH debit or credit card. Currently, we don't charge fees for ACH. Credit card, it is a 2% fee. That's what the bank charges us. It's actually a lot less than surrounding municipalities for credit cards, but it is, I mean, if you're paying, you know, $1,500 in taxes for quarters, that's $30 in fees. So you kind of got to weigh your options there. You could pay by mail, check or money order only, no cash. We have been utilizing a lockbox service for the last 13 years. People ask why are we mailing our bill to Newark? It's just a processing company. If you are mailing to the lockbox, please just mail check and stub. If you don't have the stub, put the 8-digit account number on there. The lockbox is not for, I want a return receipt, here's a letter about something not related to my tax payment. We're not going to see it. So if you do need to mail stuff, you can always mail it to our office too. If you're using online bill pay checks through your bank, some vendors like utilities, cable, telephone, electric, it's automatic ACH next day or, a day or two. With us, they mail us a physical check. It takes anywhere from 5 to 10 days to get here. So again, you want to make sure if you are paying that way, allot enough time. You can always come in and pay at the tax window, cash or check. We don't accept credit cards at the window. We're not set up for that. There's a drop box located at the main doors of the administration building. That's check only. Again, during COVID, that's when the drop box started. We did have people putting cash in there, so please don't do that. And then the last option is automatic withdrawal. With that, you fill out a form, you give us a copy of a voided check, and we automatically take it out of your account every quarter. We usually do it on or about the 5th of the month, and we send an email about a week before to let you know we're going to be taking it out, what amount, if you need to transfer money, deposit money, anything like that. We find this is a good option if you have been paying a mortgage for the last 30 years and now you're done. You tend to forget. It was automatic before, so a lot of people tend to like that option. Property tax relief programs. Veteran and widow of a vet, it's $250 a year off your taxes. Homeowner must own the property as of October 1st of the pre-tax year, and you provide a copy of your DD 214 form. If the homeowner is applying as a widow of a vet, they can't be remarried. And there can be multiple veteran deductions on a property. So if you have a husband and a wife that are both veterans, it's $500. If you have 4 brothers who are living there together and they're all veterans, $1,000. Senior citizen, disabled, and surviving spouse, this is also a $250 deduction. Homeowner must own and reside at the property as of October 1st of the pre-tax year, must be 65 years or older or permanently and totally disabled on or before December 31st of the pre-tax year. Income, including the spouse's income, cannot exceed $10,000 per year, not including Social Security, federal, state, county, or municipal government pensions. Now, this $10,000 a year, that's the state's number. It hasn't changed in probably the last 50 years, but that's not something we can change. And if the homeowner is applying as a surviving spouse, they must also have not remarried and must have reached the age of 55 by December 1st of the pre-tax year. The next 2 programs are you apply directly to the state, you don't apply through the township. The first is the Property Tax Reimbursement Program, also known as the Senior Freeze. But it's not really a freeze, it's a reimbursement program. If you apply for it, it establishes a base year. Every year you apply, you get back the difference between that base year and the current year taxes. So it increases as you go along. The requirements for that, you have to be 65 or older as of 2 years ago. So we find it easier to say, are you 67 or will you be turning 67 this year? Living in New Jersey for 10 years, in your home for 5, and the income limits includes all income, including Social Security, all those other things. For 2022, has to be under $150,000, and for 2023, under $163,050. And I would say with what's coming on the next slide, if you think you might be eligible for this, I would say, please look into applying. The last one is the Anchor program that replaced the homestead rebate program at the state. We don't really have any part of it in the tax office anymore. Applications usually come out in the fall, and then the state will notify you if you qualify or not. Where your taxes go. This is a slide you see every year in the budget presentation. The breakdown, the school is 58%. The county and municipal are each 17%. Fire district 4%, and the library and county open space 2%. Very important to remember, the municipal tax is the only tax that we can control. The mayor, administration, council, that's the only tax we can control. School votes on their tax, county commissioners vote on theirs, libraries set by the state minimum, and fire districts are voted on annually by those residents. So the tax rate percent increase from 23 to 24. The county open space tax went up 5.88%. However, that is only 2% of the total amount of the tax levy. The school tax went up 5.7%. And again, 58% of that total tax number. Library tax, 5.38, county tax, 2.38, and the municipal tax, 1.4%. I didn't list the fire districts on here. The next couple slides show an average, but the increases will vary depending on which fire district you fall under. So you hear us talk in our budget presentation for an average home in Old Bridge assessed at $156,542. Your increase would be $356.92, about. As you could kind of see, the largest portion there is the school. But also, I know not everybody, you got to remember too, the assessed value, our ratio is only about 33 to 34% of market value. So you kind of have to look at what your assessment is on your actual tax bill or assessment card. So given a couple scenarios here, on a home assessed at $60,000, your increase will be about $136.80. At $90,000 of assessment, $205.20. At $125,000, $285. As we go to the higher end of assessments, a home assessed at $200,000, $456. At $300,000, $684. And at $400,000, $912. So, as I stated, we can only control the municipal portion of it. We're anticipating at the tax office a lot of not happy people, but we just ask if, please be kind to our tax staff. I mean, the two women in the office are Old Bridge residents and own homes, so, you know, they're getting hit too, but. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to say thank you for taking the time for all the residents of Old Bridge and breaking it down to the exact figures with extreme transparency. Incredible job. I really appreciate it, and everybody here totally appreciates it, because that's all the residents want to know is the truth. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this for all of them. I really appreciate it.
Is there anyone on the left who has a question?
Yeah, quick, first question. Will this information, is it going to be on the website?
Yeah, we can post this on the website.
Okay, okay, great. Next question is you have 400,000, is that the highest assessed value in Old Bridge? Or what is the highest home value assessment? Do we know?
The That's hard for me to tell. The assessor's office might have I can get it for you.
Because we use the 156,000, that's the median?
Yeah, we take that, when we take all Class 2 property, which is residential, and take the total amount of assessment and divide it by the number of properties, that's kind of how we come out with the 156 number.
Right, right. That's the normal number. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I mean, there's definitely homes assessed over the 400,000, but I'm not really sure.
Probably
what-
the newer homes.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. All right. Thank you.
Are you good? You good?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start now. Anyone on my right? Mr. Fischetti?
Thanks, Dawn. Appreciate it. The school just had, their meetings, and they're going to increase their taxes. Is that included in here? Is that what that 5.6% is?
Yes, well, the school adopted their budget. The school's obviously on a fiscal year, July 1 to June 30th. We bill taxes on a calendar year. So the school's levy is kind of half of last year's budget, half of this year's budget, as far as their levy
So we're
goes.
seeing like a half number.
Yeah.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah, so that's why I know there was a number thrown out with the school, 9.9%. You're seeing 5.7 here because it's only part of it. Also, the assessment went up overall in the township, so that's why the rate kind of doesn't go up as much as, say, the levy percentage goes up on the increase.
Thank you very much.
So what you're saying, Dawn, it's different for each home, depends on the assessed value, right? It's not like certain number across the board for every house on average.
Yes, it varies by, like, I just gave a couple kind of round numbers. But it depends when you get your tax bill or when you get that property assessment card in the beginning of February. Everybody thinks it's for your income tax purposes. It's not. It's to tell you what your assessment is and if you want to appeal your assessment. Also, important to note, you can't appeal your taxes. So people get their tax bill, they come in, they're like, I want to appeal my taxes. You can't. You have to appeal your assessment.
Thank you. I'm good.
Yes, I think it's so important that you took the time to have this presentation, explain it, because most people don't, even if you send it out in the mail, they don't read it. But they get very frustrated when their taxes go up. I would say, looking at the whole picture of things, it is very frustrating. The state just approved their budget, and if you can imagine, we went from $36 billion to $56 billion in the state. In 6.5 years of this governor, what are they doing with the money? And it's disgusting that the school board had to deal with this because they took funding away from us. We send so much based on our income tax to the state. We don't get a good percentage back. And it goes to certain districts. I understand if there's certain districts that are poor and you want the kids to learn. But when you look at the cost per student, it's unbelievable. I just read, how much it costs to, per student in certain districts. They should have a tutor for that, for the amount of money that's spending there. They should make sure that the student is learning, not just that they're pouring money into it. But when you think of a state budget, in 6.5 years, went from $36 billion to $56 billion. Did anyone's life improve with that here? I don't think so. Also, in the dark of COVID, the tolls on the highways went up, gas tax went up. It's nonstop, it's non-sustainable. I just read an article based on every county in New Jersey, how much a family of two parents, mother and father and two children, has to cost. Middlesex County is very high up there. So this is very disturbing to me, and it's very hard on our Board of Education when they take away funds without any reasons. And sometimes I think you can't help but think it's political because there's no rationale to it at all. And if you look at all the districts that funding was taken away from. But $36 billion, I'll say it again, to $56 billion in 6.5 years, that's more than $2 billion a year. What are we doing with this money? And that's why people are leaving New Jersey in droves. And it's non-sustainable, and I would like some accountability. There were bills that they could have passed in the Senate that would have stopped this. Just do away with the pork that they're wasting money on at this time when people are struggling with high inflation, post-COVID, and everything else. They're elected by the people, and they're supposed to serve the people, and that's not serving the people well when families are struggling. We all know in our homes, if you lose a job or, something, you have to cut things out. That's just the reality of things. I think if we ask everyone here, do you remember what you did at 10 years old, what the school programs are? No. As long as you're safe and you're learning, that's the whole thing. But this is a reality in New Jersey when we have a governor that conducts himself like that, and people support it and let it's carte blanche. I've said it before, the formula, the way that you fund these schools has got to change. It's not working, and it's not sustainable. We have now, as I said many times before, the lottery, gambling online, racetracks, Atlantic City. Where is this money going? So to me, it's very sad that we have to do this to families when they're struggling with high inflation, and then raise taxes. And you're right. We collect the taxes. It's the municipality pays the employees to collect the taxes. You're paid to send out the taxes. And yet, that has to be in our budget. I think they should separate. Let school board taxes be sent to the school board and here, because we get yelled at for it, and the numbers speak volumes for themselves. But I want to thank you for explaining this, and I hope people take it to heart and pay attention to it, and pay attention to what's going on in our state and what has been going on, and it's continuing to go on. That the residents that support these politicians, the politicians don't think of the residents first. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just finish up by saying also thank you, Dawn, for all the time you take. And you don't have an easy job. You're kind of like in that position where people see you and it's like, oh my God, it's taxes, But I do think that the state overall is in crisis, and I do think the priorities in the Senate Assembly are not where they should be. The priorities should be on taking care of the people, taking care of the children, making sure they're educated, and making New Jersey affordable for all of us. That doesn't seem to be the case. As Dr. Greenberg said, there was a lot of different bills that came by that were trying to be passed in order to make things better for everyone. They fell by the wayside. So I do think that it's time for everybody to reassess and say what your priorities are, because we can't sustain this anymore. No town can. It's just impossible with the amount of raises that we're looking at here. People they can't do it. Childcare is through the roof. It's just really stressful on young parents with children trying to cope with everything, and then this as well. So I think in Trenton, they better wake up, and they better start making some decisions that will be good for all of us. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. We're all struggling. But thanks again, and the mayor and the business administrator, because you did take the time to share all this information with us so that we can share it with our residents who call and ask questions. We want to make sure they understand, what's going on. And hopefully, we're going to see what happens next year. But this was definitely, Trenton, definitely upside down. Thank you.
I think it was very important for us to do this presentation tonight so the public is aware. Already, Dawn and the people in the office are getting people coming in, and they're very excited because, as she said, we collect the taxes. Even though we're not responsible, they all have their own boards. We're only responsible for 17% of that tax collected. And as Dawn stated, only part of the increase in the Board of Ed is hitting right now. More is going to follow next year.
yeah.
And my heart breaks for people on fixed income and seniors that this is going to really hit them hard. I know for myself, mine are going up over $600 this year alone. And it's a heavy hit, So I just want people at home to be aware that we did not do this. We didn't raise the taxes. We try very hard. We work so hard to keep the taxes stable here, and we get blamed because we send the tax bills out. That's because of state law. I wish the state law would change where that each entity could collect their own taxes. Plus, another thing for us is, we send the taxes out, and if we only collect at 99%, that 1%, we have to give every entity their money, and we take the loss, which is not fair either. So I just want people to know that if you get your tax bill, please thoroughly look at it, look at the breakdown, and if you have any questions, if you see like the school board went up, you can call the Board of Ed Administration building, you can look up the number online, and you could ask them, why the taxes went up so high.
Yeah, no, it is. It's hard. Even with the senior freeze, it's a reimbursement. And I've had people already tell me they don't have the ability to put that money out in order to wait for it to come back. So it's,
You have to wait a whole year.
yeah. So people are definitely struggling with that as well.
Yeah, and the economy is so bad right now, this is going to be a very heavy hit for a lot of people.
Well, thank you very much. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Anna? No, I'm good, thank you. All right, well, thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
No, this is a presentation for the council. Next will be our bill list. Ms. Garcia?
Yes, thank you. Bill list as of July 9th, 2024. Accounts payable, July 9, 2024, $990,770.43. Payroll, July 5th, 2024, $1,221,556.79. Payroll overtime, July 5th, 2024, $33,324.75, and that completes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Garcia. Can we have a breakdown of the overtime, please?
Sure, thank you. As Councilman Garcia mentioned, our payroll overtime was $33,324.75. There were no major upticks in this payroll regarding overtime. Our sworn police overtime was $16,397.05. The duck grants, $4,275.99. The duck ETO, $2,942.71, for a total of $9,178.35, which equaled 163 hours. We have 2 officers currently on injured on duty. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
6 yeses.
Public reading, second reading ordinances, H1, ordinance amending Old Bridge Township Code of the Township Land Development, ordinance Article 8, Alternative Development Options, 250-60, entitled Optional Development Techniques, generally 250-61, entitled Density Transfer Option, and 250-62, entitled Cluster Option. Do I have anyone who has any questions? Mrs. DeCaro?
No, thank you.
No? Okay. Anyone on my, no? Okay, I'll open it to the public. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to speak on this second reading? Anyone? No? Okay, seeing no hands, I'll close public portion. And can we go to roll call?
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yeah, but we need, yeah, no, we open public, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, so motion by Dr. Greenberg, second by Mr. Pasquetti. I knew something was off.
It's a holiday.
Yeah,
Sorry, we were discussing the.
yeah, well, it's like, okay. All right, so you have everything? Yep. All right, okay. So next will be consent agenda. I'll ask for a motion and a second, and then we'll go for separations.
Move it.
Second.
Dr. Greenberg Belli motion, second by Mr. Pasquitti. And now for separations.
Councilman Asatuli, any items for separation?
No, thank you.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
No, thank you.
Councilman Garcia.
None, thank you.
Councilman Pasquitti.
No separations, thank you.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
No, thank you.
Council President Sohar.
No, thank you.
Okay, so the whole consent agenda, Councilman Asatuli,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti,
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli,
Yes.
and Council President Sohar.
Yes.
6 yeses.
Report of the Township Clerk.
I have no report.
Okay, report of the Township Attorney.
Madam President, just one thing, and I don't want to belabor this point, but I know at the last council meeting, there were certain statements, representations made relative to the situation that occurred back on June 11th relative to when there was a group outside and with having their organization, I won't call it a protest because it really wasn't a protest, but a question came up relative to, I think, the issue of the flags being placed in the beds. Just so you know, when that initially happened, the group didn't obtain the permission of the township, and it wasn't until after the township was alerted that an officer came inside and questioned myself along with Anna, at which point I had advised that it was okay for them to put it in the beds as long as they removed them when they left. So just so the record's clear, initially the approval wasn't obtained to put the flags that were in the bed. The second one, subsequently, permission was obtained in advance of the event. So just for the record.
Do we need to do anything with that? Or
No.
just? Okay, all right, thank you. Administrative report. Anna?
Thank you. Third quarter tax payment. The 2024 final and 2025 preliminary tax bills will be mailed out on or about July 15th. The Township Division of Tax Collection will be open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the tax quarter tax collection period. The tax office will also be open on Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and on Monday, August 12th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The last day to pay taxes without interest or penalties is August 12th, 2024. Payments received after August 12 will accrue interest back to the statutory due date of August 1st. For homeowners enrolled in our automatic payment withdrawal program, your taxes will be withdrawn on or about August 5th. For additional information, please contact the Division of Tax Collection at 732-721-5600, extension 2999. Sorry, I'm wearing the wrong glasses, that's why I can't see. Okay, better. National Night Out. The Old Bridge Township Police Department will host its second annual National Night Out on Tuesday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Municipal Complex parking lot. Come meet and interact with the officers of the police department, learn about the many vehicles that they will have on display, and participate in various activities such as face painting, bounce houses, music, and demonstrations. Paint and Bulb Day. The next Paint and Bulb Day will be this Saturday, July 13, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Recycling Drop-Off Center. Residents can bring bulbs, paint, cans, oils, stain, latex, and more. For more information, visit oldbridge.com/recycling. Parks and Recreation. Vendor applications for Saltwater Day and Old Bridge Day are now on our website. Saltwater Day is scheduled for Saturday, August 10th, and Old Bridge Day is scheduled for Saturday, September 21st. For more information and to download an application, please go to oldbridge.com/recreation or call 732-721-5600, extension 4999. Finally, the police department, along with the mayor and administration, would like to congratulate the following officers on their recent promotions effective July 3rd, 2024. Lieutenant Michael Blahota is now one of our acting captains. Lieutenant James McCauley is also one of our new acting captains. Sergeant Herbert Doctors is now a acting lieutenant. Sergeant Joseph Goujon, another acting lieutenant. Detective Philip Belgio is now our active sergeant. And Police Officer Gregory Goy is also now an acting sergeant. We would just like to take a moment to thank Chief Montagna for working with the administration, council, the mayor, to get the police department going on the right track, and we are hoping that these promotions are going to help us do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. That's very good news. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Anna or comments? Mr. Pescetti.
Yeah, thank you, Anna, very good. I just wanted to know, for Old Bridge Day and Saltwater Day, is there rain dates, or if it rains, it's canceled? What happens there?
There is usually not a rain date. We kind of try to base it on how the weather will be the following week. I believe last year or 2 years ago, Old Bridge Day was pushed back 2 weeks because the following Saturday was also not going to be good. Plus, I believe there was a Jewish holiday in between. So it's hard for us to pick a rain date. But obviously, if it's raining, we'll try to find the next Saturday closest to that will work. I believe one year Saltwater Day ended up being Labor Day weekend or something. So we'll try to find the next Saturday that works.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to move it.
Mr. Pescetti, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCara.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes, and congratulations to all the officers. Next will be public comment on any subject matter for a maximum period of 3 minutes.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items in the consent agenda. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker has finished with their allotted time. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. The township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of our meeting. And again, as you approach the microphone, please state whether you are a resident of Old Bridge. Do not provide your name or address.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak. My name is, forget it. I live in a resident of Old Bridge. I do want to say one thing. There was a misspeak about the budget. The last time New Jersey's budget was $30 billion less was the budget created by John Corzine, and it was in 2011. Last year's budget was $53 billion. This year's budget is $56 billion. I do agree that we need to make some changes. However, it wasn't $30 billion less last year. And the year before that, it was $49 billion. That said, you can do this, but this, I just pulled it up. Anyway, I didn't come to about that. Can you hold the time? I didn't come about this. Old Bridge is a community that values the safety and well-being of its members. While it's important to respect the rights of individuals to express their opinions and engage in discussion, there comes a point when a person's behavior can be harmful to the community. In such cases, it may be necessary for the community, this council, and the legal department to remove an appointment from a position in our town. So that's what I've come to discuss. And who is it? The zoning officer, Patricia Testaverde. She was nominated by Mary Walker when she was on the council, and she was supported by Councilwoman Bell. I seconded. Her appointment raises questions about her suitability for this position. Well, I could find were 8 complaints during her tenure at the New York PD department starting in 1985 and 13 work-related allegations. Her history includes the charges of retaliatory threats, unprofessional language. We saw unprofessional language in the two council meetings ago, which you guys edited out, physical assault, excessive use of force, reported reports of violence and interactions with a client. But what about it locally? To my minor son, to myself, and to member of the communities that are non-binary communities, she physically grabbed me from behind in an unprovoked event after insulting me and calling me names after a council meeting. This was back in 2022. In addition, at the same council meeting, she then spit on my minor child, a person of color. She spit on my son from behind as we exited the council chambers. I wonder what you would have done. Destruction of my and other person's personal property, which is a hate crime due to the fact that it was targeted trans and non-binary flags. Thank you very much for your approval. She attempted to antagonize and disrupt a peaceful demonstration for Pride, and was falsely citing laws which were incorrect and addressing her falsely stated as being a police officer. She was never and has never been a police officer in the state of New Jersey. She spit on another resident that evening, also a minority, in these council chambers. She even cursed at the council meetings, again, 2 times ago. Years ago, she was verbally abusive at the polling stations at McDivitt, resulting in workers asking to be at different sites. Well, she has stated at council meetings she's never been discriminated against. It doesn't abode true for all people. We've seen these incidences locally, regionally, and across the state.
That's your
Those
time.
attacks.
That's your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Good evening.
Evening, Town Council, Mayor. My name is Jeet Chakraborty. I've been a resident of Old Bridge since 2002. I grew up here, went through Old Bridge schools. This town is my hometown. I have lived here essentially my whole life. More recently, I've started to be a bit more active locally and try to be a bit more involved as part of my civic duty. And frankly, I've been a bit appalled lately at the sheer unprofessionalism that is to be found in this chamber. As Nina mentioned, Miss Patricia Testaverde has been very belligerent and very aggressive. I was one of the people she was aggressive towards. 2 council meetings ago, I sat in that back chair right there. I watched her get up on this mic, say horrific, ignorant, hateful things. And that's her right to do. That does not give you the right to act like an animal in public. She walked right behind me, she spat on me, and then walked off like nothing happened. Now, I've already filed a police report against Ms. Testaverde, and I fully intend to pursue that to the full extent of the law. However, the fact that this person is somebody with authority in my town, being on the zoning board, being able to make decisions about what affects me, the people in my life, the people in my neighborhood. Now, let me ask you something. Is somebody who willingly gets in physical altercations with people, somebody who will spit on someone who's never spoken to them before? I've never said one word to Ms. Testaverde, but somehow she is being trusted to be a person of sound judgment, to be able to know which areas are good for business, which areas are good for residential. Is this the kind of person we really want making decisions about what affects our town? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in the public? Good evening.
Hi, I'm an Old Bridge resident. I lived here for 37 years. My children attend Old Bridge schools. My daughter was an athlete and did very well, and she got the leadership award from actually the police department when she graduated. She met her future husband in high school, actually an honors English class. She went to TC&J, he went to Rutgers. After 8 years, they both graduated college, got jobs, they got married. They were married for several years, and they decided to start a family, and they moved back to Old Bridge, to our neighborhood, because they love the schools. And my granddaughter will be starting kindergarten this fall. So I've been a little upset when I've come here and heard our schools being dragged through the mud. And I wanted to thank Jill for bringing all the good things that Old Bridge has to offer. At, I think, 2 meetings ago, she gave statistics, and Old Bridge is, I don't know how many things that you guys know, but Old Bridge, they did the top 200 school districts. There's 600 in New Jersey. Old Bridge is 50. And so they're in the top 50 of over 600 school districts. New Jersey places in the top 5 in every metric of any of the studies that some of the organizations say they're the best. New Jersey, the best in education. Some say they're number 2, number 3. They're always in the top 5. So for us to have a school district in the top 50 in one of the top school districts in the entire state is really something. And I think that we don't hear enough of that in this chamber. And I just wanted to say that I was looking at your paper, And I see that there's these two twin girls who are going to be competing in the 2028 Olympics. And they were born in the United States, and then their parents took them to Greece, and they lived there for many years. And when they were 6 or 7, rather, they came back to this country, and then they moved to Old Bridge when they were 9. And here's what they had to say about Old Bridge schools, children that have been in other school districts too. They said they represented Goldheimer's team at Salk Middle School and later played for D'Amico's squad at Old Bridge High School. They both graduated in 2024. They expressed gratitude for their exceptional coaches whose unwavering support and encouragement were crucial to their success. They also speak highly of Old Bridge, acknowledging the impact it has had on their journey, from the welcoming smile of Dr. Sasso to the dedicated teachers who made learning enjoyable, the exemplary sports program overseen by Domino, and the security guards like Pat. They are thankful to the entire Old Bridge High School community for helping them achieve their dreams. So these are people that also believe in Old Bridge, and I just hope that you guys listen and pay attention and start praising Old Bridge schools instead of the other. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And please note for the record that Councilman Desai is here.
Councilman Desai arrived at 8:21.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else from public wish to come up and be heard? No? Good? Okay, seeing no hands, then I'll close the public portion, and we'll go to council comments.
Councilman Asatuli?
Yes. So, as we see, there's a lot of things going on around the world. And they've been going on for a long time. We just have social media now, and we get to see it a lot more. A lot of times, bad news gets a lot of views and puts everybody in a bad state of mind. But here's the best part. We have our own town that we can take care of. We collaborate with every department. We keep our economy flourishing. We keep people safe from harm with an incredible police department. We also believe in open and transparent government, which was so eloquently provided by Dawn today. Thank you so much. And here's the best part. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're from, whether you're a Democrat, Independent, Republican, we're all in this together. I am honored and proud to serve on this council with all my colleagues, because I know in their heart they have one interest in mind, and that's you. So last week when I was leaving, I was, as I was leaving the council meeting, everybody was outside, and the people that were here, the organization that showed up, they were outside, and as I was walking, we stopped. And we talked for an hour and a half. It was a great conversation. It was civil. We collaborated. And here's the best part. A lot of times, when you get to know somebody, sometimes don't judge people by other people's opinion. Just get to know them. Speak to them. Have conversations with them. And I was very excited to have a great conversation last week, that by the end of the conversation, we spoke. It was fantastic. And then they asked, would you like to come out for a cup of coffee sometime? And I said, absolutely. Because I think together, it's all about us. So I appreciate that. I wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
Councilwoman DeCara?
Yes, thank you. As always, I thank everybody that, comes up to speak. And, I think it's great that people, come and express their opinions. I think that's great, hearing about the students from Greece. That's wonderful, and that speaks a lot to our great schools. I know I'm always a proponent of our schools, so I love to hear stories like that. So thank you for sharing that. Other than that, I did have one question. We didn't have a discussion. I voted yes on the bill list, and I meant to give you guys a call today, but I looked at the bill list a little bit later than I normally do. And I just had one question on page 16. If I can find it. Under the municipal, the open space. And there's an appraisal. And I was trying to find the reference, it was said it was as referenced by proposal from May something 2023. And I couldn't find that proposal. So I was just wondering, because we're paying for an appraisal for 403 Ticetown, I think? And we're paying for an appraisal for that? Did I read that right? I apologize for not calling and clarifying this earlier.
It's a part of the Open Space Committee. We're
Right.
trying to preserve open space in Old Bridge.
No, I know, but I see that is, it's under contract. That, when I look on the MLS, it says it's under contract.
From us,
No, I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying it's under contract, so. It's that, right, yeah.
Well, when I say we, I know Vina and I have had discussions with the property owner.
Okay.
And they are interested in selling it to the township as open space. So that was the impetus to get the appraisal, because you're required to get the appraisal.
Okay, so the fact that it's under contract, it can maybe not be under contract but for that anymore and then be,
We're correct.
okay.
They've we've been continuing to be in contact with them. Appraisal was just recently completed. We haven't had an opportunity to share with council because there's some changes that need to be made. And then once we get an opportunity, then we can make an offer, but they are still interested.
Awesome, okay, no, that was just my question, and I mean, I voted yes, but I was just curious. Okay, thank you so much. And, the last thing that I just wanted to make sure I congratulated those officers that got the promotions, wonderful. Always wonderful to see. We have a wonderful police force, so that's always great to see. And just everybody have a wonderful rest of the summer, and just remember, be kind. We're all in this together, and, everybody's got their own struggles, and, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, we're all Old Bridge residents, so that's it. Everybody stay safe. Thank you.
Councilman Desai? Councilman Garcia?
Yes, thank you. I also want to congratulate the promotions of the supervisors to the police department. It's always good to have promotions within the police department, so congratulations to them. Also, I know we mentioned earlier about the taxes going up in town. You guys know I live in Cheesequake Village. I represent about 1,000 people, mostly seniors. We have a hard time paying, not we, a lot of them have a hard time paying their bills. We have to raise our dues annually just to keep up with inflation. That 9.9% increase in our school killed them. They call me every day. How much is it going to cost me extra? I just think it's so unfortunate that these poor seniors have to pay that extra money. They don't even have kids in school. And not just my seniors, seniors throughout Old Bridge. It's just unfortunate. I think that why it wasn't negotiated, why it went to 9.9, why didn't we meet in the middle or somewhere? Just to go 9.9 bothers me. And I just think it's so unfortunate. That's enough of that. Also, I want to offer my condolences to my fellow co-worker, Mark Rizzoli, ex-councilman, Old Bridge. He lost his mother last week, so I want to offer my condolences to his family. That's all, thank you.
Okay, finished? I'm done, yes, thank you. You're welcome. Councilman Pasquini?
No comment, thank you.
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes. First of all, I want to make a clarification because the resident said something that I didn't say. I said in the 6.5 years that Governor Murphy has been the governor, it went from 36 billion to 56 billion, not anything else than that. You can look it up. So the other thing is, and we all love the schools. I had my daughter go through school. did excellent, good student, good athlete. It's not about the school, it's about the taxes. And that's what we're all in together. It's not just the people have kids in the school, it's the families that are struggling. It's the seniors that are struggling. And there's no reason for it when the money's there if you have increased a budget from 36 billion to 56 billion in 6.5 years. So that is the problem. And there's no reason why they took, when we sent our income taxes to the state, they took about this money from it. So that's the whole thing. The other thing is, a lot of times people come up here, and I know people are passionate about things, but a lot of times they speak, they're insinuating that we have these opinions on things, and we've never even spoken about it. And it befuddles me that that happens. You don't know our families. You don't know our workplaces. You don't know how we conduct ourselves in our life. But there's a lot of insinuating things that, that aren't true. We care about everyone in this town. And so I don't understand this negativity that continues to go on, and I wish you would stop, because you don't know any of us personally when you come up and say these things and you insinuate based on what you say and think that these things are true, and they're not. And I wish you would stop. This has been going on for a long time, so when you want to talk about being kind, start there. Pick your words. You can have an opinion, and so can others have opinion. But we've never said anything negative about the things that you're insinuating that we did, and it's very, very frustrating. As I said, you don't know our families, and you don't know our workplaces, and you don't know our day-to-day life. So I appreciate it if you would not take that in. The other thing I just want to say, I hope everyone's enjoying their summer. Be safe and enjoy. Thank you.
Council President Sohar.
Yes, I just want to wish everyone also a happy summer. And I think now that the kids are out of school and around, please be careful. We have a speeding issue here in town that is very, very serious. The police are doing the best they can to get us in a better place with the speeding, but I have to tell you, I've lived in this town 47 years, and I've never seen speeding like this before. It's incredible, and I'm just afraid there's going to be tragedy all summer long. I mean, you gentlemen are sitting here that witness all this that goes on and the accidents that even happened just recently. So I just ask the public, please, just slow down a little bit, because we have become a town that is just incredible when it comes to speeding. And everybody, please just be safe and have a great summer. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, I need a motion to enter executive session for litigation matters for National Lead and Testino versus Township of Old Bridge, and contract negotiations for hotel motel liquor license.
Okay, motion,
Motion, and who second?
Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Desai? Yes. Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti? Yes. Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes. Council President Sohar?
Yes.
7 yeses. Okay, Council President, we'd like to have a motion to reconvene in public session.
Second.
Okay, got it?
Yep. So motion by Council Vice President and second by Councilman Pescitti. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli? Yes. Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
So reconvene at 10:10 PM? Okay, so we need a motion for, Mark, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take it. So executive session, we discussed update to the national lead litigation. As part of that, discussed consent decree that was proffered by the federal government as a means to settle litigation with the Township of Old Bridge and other parties. And so we have a resolution before council, and the vote would be to approve resolution execution of consent decree by and between the United States of America, State of New Jersey, Old Bridge Township, NL Industries, Inc., and others.
Okay, so can we have a motion?
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pasquini.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes. Council President Sohar?
Yes.
7 yeses. Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini? Yes. Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned at 10:12 PM.
Thank you. All right, good night.
All right, get home safe.